Well, gentlemen, I am in the tackle shack. We're just on the back of the biggest, deepest Atlantic pressure system creating a storm that's ever been recorded, ever. We've had two back-to-back storms. One gave us 90-mile-an-hour winds. The other one gave us so much rain, it's unbelievable. And most of that rain is coming in my tackle shack. Leak here. And I can't see where that's, well, I can see where it's coming from, Graeme. It's coming from the roof. Outside's even worse, this side. That temporary patch that I put on there when I first did the tackle shack is no longer temporary. It ain't there at all. But look at it out there. Flooded, flooded, flooded. Not good at all. The felt from the roof is about 30 yards back in the garden. I'm just going to whiz out quick in this rain. If you just look up there, it's ripped all that felt off. It's just pouring down here. So I can't do anything. It's all totally got to be refelted, but I've got to wait for the weather to pick up. And talk about a lot of rain, I want to show you here, people. This is the side of my house. I have a well. Here's the boat. Look at the canopy covering the boat there. Absolutely torn and shredded, and I dare say the boat's got water in it, but will run out. Here, my little marina, the water is actually up over the marina. I'm not sure the boat's going to be floating on its own. There's an old well under that Lavatera plant. Flooded here, totally, but worse, it goes right up to my house. Oh, yucky, yucky. Look, ripped and shredded. Anybody got any cheap tarpaulins? No, I didn't say that. Anybody got any free tarpaulins? Look, the water is still, I think, rising. It's touching the house, so I'm going to have to get my sump pump, dirty water pump out, pump all that out, and hopefully I can't even get across to my man cave shed. And wait till you see the rivers. The upside is I've got that donation by Richard for an old frog back reel, which I was going to hang up somewhere. I figured I could hang it somewhere like up here, next to the rods and reels there. So that one, you guys can see. Thanks for the donation. If anybody else wants to donate, get in touch with Mike. If you've got any old tackle, we'll put some more bits of old tackle up in here. I'll put this one down here for the minute anyway. It's a nice one. So more work in the tackle shack. Let's crack on, because I'm going to try and cycle out and see one of the rivers with this, but I can't get out at the moment. I can't go in the car. I want to show you some of the erosion that's happening up here inland, and also I reckon little stream that's local to me, I reckon that's got to be flooded, got to be. Anyway, let's get in the seat of power. Everybody out there knows it's always good, and you fish with more confidence when you get a good shore fishing mark. But first, you either have to be given that mark, or you have to go out of your way to learn that mark yourself. I came up with a sort of different idea. I'm sure other people are doing this, but with the techno world, of which I'm not a fully paid up member at my age, with the techno world there are ways and means of defining and getting down to the mark itself. I thought, I'm going to give this a go, and this is how I did it. Well, let's welcome to the Tony Awesome Fishing Show. Now, for some time, I've been going around fishing marks that people have told me to fish, and I get it all wrong. Now, this could apply to beach fishing, and I turn up at the wrong groin when they say go between the 9th and the 10th groin, which is the breakwater, or it can apply to a lake. Oh, you want to fish by the gooseberry hedge on the left. Okay, fine. Or worse, the third tree down on the riverbank below the bend. The number of times I've gone where somebody's told me where the fish are, and then when I say I didn't do any good, and they see me next time and they go, how'd you go on, Graeme? I go, blank or not much. Oh, no, not that tree, that tree. Oh, no, not that breakwater, not that breakwater, that breakwater. Oh, I see, you need to be shown exactly. So I was thinking about it. What we really need, especially beach fishing marks, guys, is to search out somewhere, find a good spot, and get it pinpointed right down to the GPS mark. And then you know where you are, don't you? And if you have that information, you can pass it on to your friends, can't you? You can say, I had a good session on the whiting or whatever at blah, 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 blah. You got the marks, give it a name, whatever you want, give it to your friends. And if they've got I've only got my big boat Lowrance unit, Lowrance HGS7 unit here. I've got it wired up to my camera battery, to my caravan battery in fact. I've only got that to use to fire it up to show you what I'm talking about. But I've also got a really, really old, it's a Garmin sat-nav. Just everybody has stuff on their phones. Mike has a really good thing on his phone now. So if you found the mark, surely you can store them, you know, longitude, latitude, so you've got an exact GPS fix. I don't know, I'm not some techno magnate, I don't know how these things work, somebody tell me. I just come about this by thinking, I'm going to find a mark, a couple of good shore marks I've got on my boat chart. It's got a platinum chart card. It's called a Navionics chart card, and as far as boat fishermen know, it's really, really good. It does tell you loads of detail, loads of information for boat fishing out deep. But I decided to stroll right in over the shore, just see what's around. I found a little bump and I wanted to fish near the tide and near this little bump in the shoreline, see if I could find anything different in features. Let me show you what I mean. So look, here's what I've got. I've got my old caravan battery there, which I think is a 100 amp battery. I've got it wired up with a inline fuse there. So you always want to make sure you've got an inline fuse, then you don't fry your unit. This is just how I'm working it, just to have a bit of an experiment. I'm going to zoom in there, and there, as you can see, is my trusty Lowrance HDS7 touchscreen. Now, I've mentioned this before. This is we're going to call this the south coast of the UK. There's a big tidal influence here. The green means it dries out of low water. There's a nice bump, and I fished this side of it. I thought, you know, I'm going to try in here. I want to try in this side here. So what I've done is I found an area there, and I've put in, as you scroll around, it comes up down here, your latitude, longitude. Look, it's 31 miles from wherever, blah, blah, blah. It's not wired up to the boat. But if I just go tap to there, and there we go. Hopefully you can see that. Let me just, it doesn't matter that anybody tries these marks. Let me zoom in there. Right, there we go, guys. Set down as exactly there, exactly where I want to be on the shore, okay? Now, I can't go, like you can go onto, say, Google Earth and find all the roads and that there, but I can do it by transposing these numbers here, down here. I'll show it to you again. I'm going to put it under Edit. By these numbers here, I'm going to put those into my car sat-nav, which are really old. Well, you could do it in your phone, I guess, I don't know. And then I'm going to try and find it. So what I'm going to do with these numbers, I'm going to drive right down, park as close as I can, and then walk to that mark. Exactly there, I'll be right on the money within, I reckon, a matter of about 20 feet. Now, of course, what that means is I'm going to be really, really pinpointed on that mark. Now, I see no reason that I can't use this chart card, this Navionics chart card, to go around the coastline in different areas, and I can go right down to Cornwall, all over the place with this card, and that Lowrance unit, track down some really good, tasty looking shore fishing spots, zoom in, get the GPS coordinates of it, transpose them onto my, not in my case, not my phone, I'm not that techno man, onto my little handheld GPS, which I put onto pedestrian mode, or do it on your phone. You could get absolutely bang on the money. Now, I'm doing this as an experiment, but when you send friends out, and let's say you're on a section of beach and you think you know where they are, you can actually go down yourself, suss out a beach at low water, or a rock mark, anywhere, check it all out, where the snags are, where the good spots are, where the clear spot to put your bait is, where you want to cast, right? At low water, got your GPS like this, punch the numbers in, save them, but why not take a handheld compass, a bearing compass, which is the one you look like this, take the bearing of where the snags are, take the bearings, and you've got all this information you could then pass on to your friends, or indeed keep for yourself. There's only one way to prove if this works. Fire up the old car sat-nav, get down the coast, and see if we can't catch a few fish. Anyway, this is how I got on. Well, folks, this is the mark I'm going to be fishing today. Absolutely flat calm, really nice. Just going to walk you down there. The tide should be pulling to the right. Seems well up, but I know it's going down. I'm waiting for darkness, obviously. and this is about where I think the GPS numbers are for that that little bump in the coastline. So I figure it might just give me a bit more time, might get me a few fish. So I'm down here, you can just see over there. I haven't even started fishing yet, I just dumped my gear there. And fingers crossed we get to show you something. Total contrast to my usual fishing trips down here, which are just wind, rain, drizzle, cold, beautiful flat calm, and it's not very good for fishing, unfortunately, until it gets dark. But hopefully I'm actually going to be in an area where there's a bit of current there. So let's get the rods together. The worms I got aren't great, but that's all I've got, that's all there was. The guy said they've just been, you know, probably in a cool storage too long. But I'll use what I've got, and I'm going to use small hooks, small baits, small rigs, smaller leads, hopefully just maybe chuck one out. No big baits on this trip at all, it's just trying to catch anything. Well guys, there's a tiny little boat out there and there's barely any wind, but I can see him going down this way to the west. I mean, I know the tide's ebbing. I'm just right at one of the stanchions out there, and I've got a plain 6-ounce bomb on, so I'm going to see if that holds out there. Fingers crossed it does. Now I'm going to throw some spinning rods out, and well, basically I'm just going to put baits out and see what happens. It does at least seem as though there is some tide in this area, so that guy's drifting in that boat quite fast. One hopes he's got an engine that works looking at it, otherwise it's America, here we come. So I'm using really quite small baits, small grip lead, and I've got my 2 spinning rods. I always chuck my spinning rod out. I normally have 1, but the sea is so flat, I'll put 2 in. I don't need great big heavy weights here. And I've got horrible ragworm that are, well, I'd hesitate to say they're live. They're not, I've basically got to pour them on the hook. So they're about the most shocking worms I've had this year, just the way they are. Spinning rods are 9 foot. Just regular fixed ball reel, got braid on this. I could have, I've got another reel there, look, that one's got, I think, 20-pound mono on. So if you're thinking of doing something different, let's say you're, for instance, you're a freshwater guy, you've got a carp rod, you've got a pike rod, there's no reason when the sea's as flat as this, that you can't get some baits out there with, say, 3 or 4 ounce leads. You can even use your carp leads, and I'm going to throw one out with a carp lead in a minute, and some really small hooks, and just see what is out there. I don't hold out much hope until it gets dark, I've got to be perfectly honest. But listen, you don't have to go and invest in huge, great big fixed ball reels and, you know, beach rods that are 15 feet long that are going to throw 7 ounces of lead. You don't have to do that. If you're a sea fisherman, properly, a beach fisherman, most of the time it's going to be fairly rough. There's going to be a breeze, there's going to be tide, there's going to be waves. You need a big rod to throw a big weight to hold your bait out there. But when it's calm like this, you get away with nice small leads like this, small rigs, and you know what? You can probably catch the same sort of fish as well. Well, in my case, not very much at all. Wait till it gets dark, boys. Just wait till it gets dark. Okay, so my spinning rod here, look, just to give you a guide, just like you could be carp fishing, couldn't you? There guys is a carp lead clipped on to just a 3-hook little paternoster. You can see that spinning. There you go. Hopefully you can see it there. Now these hooks are just my carp hooks. I think they're even barbless. I've got sections of ragworm and a tiny bead there. One of these beads is a floating bead. It might pop it off the bottom of this crabs, but basically they're for a bit of colour. During the hours of daylight, there might be a fish that actually sees this bead first and then comes over to investigate. So you can see just regular gear. I've got my rig, I've got my carp lead, spinning rod and reel. Could be a carp out for all intents and purposes, really. And I'm just going to throw it out. Now, in big tides, it will move. You wouldn't be able to do it. I'm going to try it purely because it's flat calm. When it's flat calm like this, fingers crossed, it doesn't move too far. And what I'm going to do is throw it out towards the edge of the groins there. This is called the groins of breakwater. That stops the beach eroding. I'm fairly sure there's tide here. I'll show you why in a minute. Let's get this out. I want to be fairly accurate with this if I can, because I've always had a feeling that around the edges of these farther out, let's not get a wet foot here. Here comes the wave. So near and yet so far. Big drop off there too. And this one, I'm going to change these over. Put this one in the shotgun here. And take the shotgun and put it in the surf tube here. That should hold out there. Now, it could get dragged in by the waves, this one. Who knows? And this one could get bumped around. If it gets bumped and banged too much, guys, I will bring it in and I will put a grip lead on. But, you know, I want to try it with a carp lead. But as the tide's dropping over the back of this ledge here, the sandbar, you see the wave breaking? Just there. That wave will dislodge the ledge. It pulls on the line, on the belly and the line. It will gradually loosen it and keep bumping it in. Your line then falls slack, and then the shingle rolls over the top of it as the tide's going out. And then it's all over by the shout, and it basically buries your line. Okay, up here. It's got some baits in the water anyway. Look, middle of winter. 25 past 3, it's going to be dark. 4 o'clock. Probably not quite that dark because it's a lovely blue sky at the moment. It's going to be cold. They've put these wood groins, these are breakwaters to stop the tide eroding the current here, eroding the beach. Otherwise the houses up there will be floating. And the current comes out there. There's a sandbank over there. So I'm hopefully, according to my little GPS numbers, I'm round and about where that little bit of bank is. And it also tells me that there is tide here, because why would they put these are fairly new, why would they put these great big granite things, or whatever they are made of, you can see, to help support it. And the waves must come in from the southwest, which are prevailing wind this way, crash into these and then break them. So they've got this to try and break it up and stop the waves going up. You can see here was the high water mark. And the last big spring tide, I'll show you, it came up to here. And even that is starting to cut away. Can you see like a sort of cliff edge there of about 10 inches? That's starting to cut away, and as it sweeps back, it will eventually erode all this and suck all this shingle back down again. And of course then the local council will have to start the procedure all over again. You cannot beat Mother Nature. These wood breakwaters last a long time, years in fact, but over decades they will get worn down, and they're the only things that don't, but obviously they're going to be expensive to ship in. And they look, well, look at it, these are quarried by the look of it. Look at all the ridge marks in them. I guess something digs down in there, hacks it out, a massive, massive slab. So basically, guys, rods are in the water, baits are in the water. I'm going to check that GPS, see if I can get pedestrian mode on the little handset there, and just check these lines. I'm going to give them a good, just before it gets dark, I'll wheel them in and see if the crabs have stripped us out. Tools, there we go. Where am I? Locating, I'm going to put me over, there's an address there, so we don't want to bother the people with an address that comes up, the nearest address it gives you. But it's got my location down there, north 50 degrees, 46.622 minutes. West treble 0 degrees, because we're close to the Greenwich Meridian line here, 56.816. So you can see that there, that's my location. I've got the nearest address out the way anyway, but you can find the beach area there. Elevation 5 metres. I fear not, unless there's a tsunami coming. So maybe it's not that accurate. I must be no more. I'm not certainly not 5 metres up in the air off of the sea level, but it might be taking the sea level from the lowest point on a spring tide, which we got today. So maybe that's right. So I'm going to say, looking at the height of these, go straight out there, maybe 2 to 3 metres. Then the tide drops. That would be another 2 metres, because that's going to be dry with that big marker post with a triangle on out there. That's going to be dry when this drops back. So maybe 5 metres above low water springs would be the sea level. So I've actually got that, so I can go back, put this number into my GPS, my Lowrance GPS, in the office, and we'll double check. You can see exactly where I am. I hope the fish know all this, otherwise it's all a bit time consuming for nothing, isn't it? Bit of fun though, different. Look at that sunset. Look at that sunset, boy. That's why I come out. That's why I come out beach fishing. It's for a view like that. And at this time, when it gets in the winter, peace and solitude. Look, the people have all gone, thank goodness. The people have gone, the kids, the dogs, everything's gone. It's quiet, it's just me. I don't think there's any other beach hangers that I can see. And you've got this still solitude, occasional large seagull there, probably a blackback coming into roost now, a couple of them there. And it's me waiting until it gets dark. I reckon another hour, boys, and I should have, let's look at it, 20 to 4, I reckon 20 to 5, I should have a fish, I hope. Hopefully they come on the bite. But that is some setting, is it not? Trouble is, when it's flat calm like this, you don't catch quite as much as you do when it's rough, because it stirs it all up. My only advantage is it's dark, coming on dark. I've got a spring tide, but it means that tide's going to fall away to nothing, for sure. I need to catch in that first 2 hours, between 5 o'clock and about 7 o'clock. Well, people, you might think it's caught no fish. No, I haven't caught any fish. I'm hopeful when it gets dark, but just before it gets dark, just check out this sunset. That is absolutely a gobsmacker. Beautiful. A winter sunset, south coast of England. Hayling Island, in fact, just opposite. The Isle of Wight is going down there. I mean, west normally is way up there. That's west, but because the sun goes around lower and lower in the arcs in the winter, so it's going lower like this. As the sun comes up in the high and goes through the height of the, you know, the full zenith, I believe they call it, up there. In the summer, it will go down west, it'll be up there. The sun will be setting up there. But in the winter, it's going down over there. And that is spectacular. This is spectacular, this old D.I.Y reel. It's about 40 years old and it's still wheeling the fish in. And do you know what? Joking apart, people, I have never serviced this reel in 40 years. I might have sprayed a bit of WD-40 in here and here. I don't even know what it's called. It's a D.I.Y, oh, there you go. A D.I.Y 400X. You've got to have the X, man. That X must mean something to somebody. That's been a really, really good old basic metal type workhorse. That one's a good reel. Well, there I go. I did say it would be a question of waiting until the dark, and there's just a regular sized whiting there. Nice little fish. See his little pin teeth and everything there. And the other hooks actually are stripped. I've had quite a few bites there. I'd let them bang away. I wasn't actually sure, I'll get a hook in the sleeve, that they weren't like bream or something like that. But there you go. There's a whiting. Let's turn that light off for you. Be able to see them a bit better. A nice whiting. Ah, he really does have sharp teeth. Save the blank. Many a whiting this side has saved the blank. And it's his lucky day. He's only a small one. He's going to go back. There we go, boys. We're really on the bite by the look of things now. That one's quite a bit bigger. If you see that one here, it's a bit bigger than that one. And that's on sandeel and worm combo. So I'm going to try and just concentrate on maybe a touch bigger baits. Look at that, he's got the whole sandeel right down his throat. So on the bite, and I've got to get them while I can because that tide is going out fast. Let's get this baited up and get it back out there. Hopefully it must be on the edge of that bank. What? This is the smallest whiting I think I've caught all year. and it gave me a hell of a bite, but then that's on my old reel. Whether that little bead works or not, I don't know. I don't think so tonight. But anyway, whiting on the bite big time. I'm getting bangs. I've got half a squid head on my big one over there, and I'm just getting rattle taps, bangs all the time. So I guess I'm just trying to chew it down, but I might get lucky with the bigger fish. I'd like to think so. But there certainly seems there's an area here, and I've obviously got these little numbers now, where there's a few fish, and that was the idea of taking a look on the GPS to see what we could find. It might be a whole new way forward, who knows. That one's on there. There's a fish on over my other line. Hang on. This is either two whiting or better fish. Hang on, boys. I need to get this one in here. So if he's still on. What is that? Something bigger. It's a dogfish. It looks like a decent sized dogfish. I thought it was a better fish. I don't know if you guys will see that in this light. We'll walk him up there. He's made a right mess of this rig for sure. This is now a dogfish rig. Gotta laugh, haven't you? I'm going to come around this way. And you should be able to see him in the light there. He is tangled beyond belief. There you go. I don't know, you can see this because I've got a camera on my head and a light on my head and the big light on as well. So a decent sized fish, even though I've got to get him untangled. And I've had hammering bites on one of these other rods over here as well. Let's get this guy sorted. There he is, guys, got him untangled. Hopefully you can see that. I'm guessing with this camera's jammed on my head, I've got the other floodlight on my head as well. Decent sized fish. And I'm going to get him back. And the middle one's going, I'm going to get this straight back. And see if we've got fish on that other one. I don't know if you're going to see that there. You probably won't see this one here in the middle. He's hammering as well. On there as well. I don't know if it's a doggy. It's more likely to be a whiting. There is indeed a fish here. I'm going to walk down with this one. I don't know what you're getting. I've got this camera jam right on the top of my fur hat. There's a couple of guys down the right. I think they've gone. I don't know whether they've left at the wrong time, probably. Double shot of whiting. Oh, that one's fallen off. That's quite a nice size whiting, that one. He's fallen off. Back he goes. And there's the other one. You just can't beat a really nice beach fire. In the middle of winter, keeps you warm. You can make a cup of tea on it if you want, you can fry on it, I've done that before. And if I'd have bought the birch fire torches, they would have worked much better. It's cold, okay. See by the breath. How long that'll last, I don't know. Not long when the tide goes in, will it? I think I need a few more fish before I call it quits, but I'm well pleased with using that GPS. And I wonder if it is a way of the future. If you're, looking to give your mates marks, you can give them the exact coordinates, can't you? It is a cracking evening. Yes, look at that. I wish I had a frying pan with some bacon and eggs. I was pretty slow there. Should have bought something, shouldn't I? Look at it, lovely, lovely and warm. That's lovely and warm. I've put on, just so you know, around the edge here. No, not the newspaper. I'm not reading the newspaper. Some chestnuts, which might explode because I haven't pierced them, which you normally do. So there's chestnuts there that I think Emmy gave me, and I've got in here a mince pie I've wrapped up, and I'm going to put it in there as well and see if that warms up. That's lovely. That's really on the go now. The Swedish fire torch, although I've got it sideways, at least you did get to see it glowing, but I'm using it just straight wood now to burn it because the tide will be coming in. Hot mince pies and hot chestnuts, my goodness me. Does it get any better beach fishing than that? It does. No hair on the back of the hands. Right, I'm going to have my pie here. Ouch, ouch, it's warm. Ouch. I'm going to have my pie. Oh yes, I think the pie is warm. What do you think, guys? Is that cooked? I think that's warm. I'm going to enjoy. Oh, hot though. That's really glowing now. I can spy a few more mince pies. I haven't even had a beer yet. I can spy a few more chestnuts in there. So I've got a couple more bits of wood to go on there. And then that's me done. Well, there you go, guys, look. Another big white in that one. Pretty much almost as big enough to go on that fire and have a cook up. But I'm going to let him go. I'm still catching quite a few of them. Had a great time. I think I'll give it another half an hour or so. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Triple shots of whiting now. They're on prawns, they're on black lug, they're on ragworm, they're on everything. Hopefully you can see those. All ready for the frying pan, except I haven't got the frying pan here. But just goes to show you what a great session I've had. Nice bit of warmth from the fire. I'm going to get these guys back and I'll crank in and see if I've got another one as well. Then I'm off home. Thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. These guys are nearly cooked. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget TA Outdoors as well. Hit the subscribe button on that. I'm going to get these guys unhooked and back. Well, we couldn't pack out without showing you these guys, look. There, if I can get it in the camera lens. Another nice whiting and about, the biggest dogfish I think I've caught this year. That's a jumbo one, that must be 2 feet 6 long. Don't know what that is in metric, you guys out there in foreign land. Just under a metre, 3/4 of a metre, there you are. That's a nice doggy, that one. And the whiting as well. Still on the bite, even at low water, but I'm pretty well out of bait. Basically, I'm just pouring the worms on the hook. But there you can see, that's a nice fish. Well pleased with it. Thanks for watching our show. We'll see you again next time. And I'll bring some more wood and we'll get a proper Swedish fire torch going. Yes, I've still got rods in the water. Well, I really enjoyed that fishing trip there, guys. I caught quite a lot of fish. A lot of them I don't bother filming. I don't film every single little fish. Just when I think there's a bit of note or interest there and the productivity is starting. That mark I will keep and I will be using that GPS and trying again for different marks. Probably, you've got two ways to look at it, people. You can look on the chart like I did. You might not have a boat echo sounder, you know, with the Navionics Platinum card. So you might not be able to find that feature in the first place. But if you have good fishing at a spot, if your phone has some form of an app, I guess, or if you have your sat nav with you that you can put on pedestrianised mode and get, you know, the longitude, latitude, your exact position, why not put it in? That's what, that's the gist of it. Is if you find a good fishing mark, if you're told a good fishing mark, put it in and you've got it for the future. Anyway, off we trot from here. It's getting more and more windswept here. It's really yucky. There is no fishing today, boys. Trust me. Now, a lot of you guys out there have what's called a man cave. If you don't, you should have. You need a bolt hole to go somewhere where you get a bit of peace and quiet and you can get your brain in order. I've got 2 or 3 around here, little areas, little remote oasis of peace and quiet and tranquility that I can go to and do men's stuff, just stuff generally. I was clearing out a shed. I thought, I wonder if these people who follow me would be interested in the huge amount of stuff I accumulate, because I am a child of the 1950s and I think it's a spin-off from maybe after the Second World War when a lot of materials were in demand. They've been used for the war effort, you know, wood, metal, steel, glass, whatever, it's all been used. And I think there was a shortage and, you know, people tended not to throw stuff away. They made it work twice. It's all this consumer society. We've got no growth. Well, we don't need any more growth, do we, people? Look how many people are in the world. The last thing we need is more electronics, I feel myself. Why not keep stuff going? I don't throw anything away. You'll gather that when you see me clearing out my man cave. It is definitely a real man cave clearance. I don't know what to say, people. I'm in a bit of a trauma. I mean, I've got to empty out one of my man caves. This one. I come from an era, it's junk to some people, yes, do not laugh. This could all be junk to some people, but it's not to me. It's just stuff that can be used. I've got the man cave in the garage, I've got the workshop, I've got 2 garden sheds with stuff in, I've got a big green one here, and I've just lost another giant one which I've got to knock down and saw up. Inside there is all my timber. Well, I want to keep my timber. So I've now got to strip this one out. Not looking forward to it. You'll see some of the junk in there, but then folks, it's not junk, is it? It's stuff. All you people know it's stuff. I don't know where to start. Oh dear, I do have a bit of a thing about pallet wood. You guys know that if you watch TA Outdoors and see all the pallet cabin build, the world famous pallet cabin. But I've also got just stuff that really has got to go. I've had it. It's been in this shed 10 years. Even the spiders are bored. Even the spiders are bored with it now. Look, is that one alive? Oh, Jesus. That's not very nice, is it? I'm going to be dizzy by the time he finishes, that's for sure. What's he doing? What is he doing? He can't. I'm blowing him and he can't stop. That is unbelievable. I think he's caught in his own web. Oh, there's loads here. Look, 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 look. Look. He's moving. He's not spinning around. But this guy's in big trouble. I just got to get rid of it. The minute you throw a piece of timber away, you want it. But I've got wonderful items in here. I've got heaps of wood drying for my log burner, wood that I might use in the garden, cement mixers, chairs. I think I've got to get rid of stuff. Gas bottles, electric. And wait for this till you see the back of my car. I've got to throw away these sinks. I'm going to throw them away, but I can't help keeping the copper pipe. It's got isolator valves on, but the taps are okay. Why would I throw them away? And I can use these for fishing weights. And I'm going to save this sink plug chain for one of the properties. You never know when you want a sink plug chain. But I'm mortified I've got to get rid of those 2. I've only had them 20 years. In the back is a huge amount of totally overweight lumber, plywood, blockboard, 4x2, 3x2, 2x2s. It's all there. Bits of piping. But the trouble is, that weighs probably 3/4 of a tonne. I think I'm going to have to move my boat. I want to try and drive my car right through here to the back to the sheds. But I'm not sure I'm going to get right through there. The trouble is, I've got my boat up on jacks here. This is what I do, just as another tip. Actually, there's a fishing tip here. I've got mine jacked up there. I was told to jack it up if you don't use it a lot, and I don't seem to use it a lot. I've got it jacked up on axle stands. Takes the pressure off the tyres. Got to get on that boat, but I'm not throwing that away, don't worry. If I can push the boat around here, I might be able to squeeze my car, be able to drive it right the way over there. It's worth a shot. I think it must be a throwback to the Second World War, when they had that make, do and mend, you know? We actually had to make, do and mend everything. The problem is, let's get this up. I can get that axle stand out. That one's out. It's a throwback to not wasting anything, because my living was second-hand anything. So I tend to have a value, I attach a value to everything. Rightly so, we live in a consumer society. I think, why are we consuming? I can use everything more than once. Even this is second-hand. These are second-hand. Why not indeed? Actually, it was wifey's idea that said, why can't we move the boat? Well, actually, her voice isn't quite that deep, but why can't you move the boat? Then we can drive it closer. And it is, of course, I have to say, true. For the sake of burning up energy, jacking this off of the axle stands here. Hopefully it doesn't fall on my head. You can see that no stones jamming in here. So it had no pressure. Ready for the fishing trip, the next fishing trip. Lord knows that won't be today, won't be for a few days now. Down comes the axle on my head. And I just... something else I've done. I did forget to drop this. Am I going to be able to move this? No. I'm going to jack it up here. I'll just put a support stand in there, people, just there. It helps just to, you know, just to support that spine in the middle. Again, you probably don't need it, but that's what I use. No idea whether I'm going to be able to. I might actually drop that down. If I lower this, I think centre of gravity always goes lower. It's going to probably be a bit easier to push. Let's strain on that jockey wheel. There we go. See if I can get the car through here. Who knows what these are? When would you need 500 of them? You never know. They're brick ties. They go in there between the bricks. And you have another row or course of bricks this way. It ties them in and stops them rocking and moving. Left over from another property job. Obviously I moved them from pillar to post. Old hinges. Who knows what these are? Joist brackets. You hammer these into, let's say, that hole there, and then you can put a big piece of 6x2 in there, a timber for making flooring. I have only one, but you never know when you might need one. Right, take our large into our hands, take a very wide swing at it. The last time I did this, I graunched all the sill of my car, but it's worth a shout. It is. A tad tight. I think I'm okay. Let's look down the wing mirror down there. Somebody have a look for me. Smith, tell me if I'm okay. Okay. Is the grass okay? And whee! We're driving over our lawn. Right, it's lucky. You see, you never know when you want a piece of wood to do things like jam the door open. Now that, you see, I could have kept that for 8 years just to do that job. I hate eyeing things twice. Is this going to open? Yes. And of course, to open this door you need, yes, correct, a piece of wood. Oh dear, I do have a thing about bits of wood. But we're going to give it a go, guys. We're going to have a major dump session, if you'll pardon the French. Dumping the rubbish. I've got rubber proofing for doing my property roofs. And when would you want transit bolts for your washing machine? When you move it, of course. That's going to be cleared. Holy smoly. And then I've got to build in here, I think this side and that side, I've got to build timber racks to stack the timber properly. Made a bit of a hole in it, but look at the projects I've had to be able to have this much wood left over. But I put it in here loose to dry. If you put wet wood away in a plastic bag, it will sweat, it will never dry. You need to get it dried out. This is all dried now. Trust me, I need the space. So there's a lot of log burning stuff, and yes, more timber. And lo and behold, what are we expecting here then, Graeme? Are we going to be a New York Fire Department? What are we going to do here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fire extinguishers, which I've obviously picked up from commercial properties I had rented and left over. I feel one, they've got to go, but I feel one's got to be let off. I've never let one off in my life. If there's one that's half empty, because they're probably out of date anyway, I feel it's got to go, isn't it? And look, what man doesn't want? Yes, right, white gold in the winter, white gold in the winter. Who knows what it is? Who wouldn't want a split bag, 15, 20, 30 kilos of rock salt? And why not a few half empty gas bottles to fit, wait for this, absolutely nothing. But you know what the cost of gas is. I could suck on that if I was in pain, couldn't I? That would put me out of my misery. And of course you might want partly worn tyres that are now perished. They've been in there so long, they've got to go. That's a good one. The old light can go. I've got another one. All my electrics left over from property refurbs. I can't pick myself. Some of it can go, some of the white. Oh my god, another spare tyre. And how about these? Some extremely antique gas fires. The chairs have got to go. I feel I've kept them and kept them and kept them. But look, Tell me anybody with a brain, I can barely move it. That's called armoured cable. Any idea what the price of this stuff is? Yes, it's not cheap. I don't know what I can do with it, but you never know, do you? Let's get some of this wood in the log store. Let me show you the log store. Wait for this. The log store is absolutely rammed. I've probably got 2 years worth of logs and wood and timber to burn in the log burner here. I've got the other stuff to get out from the shed. I've got to repair this one. Oh, hang on a minute, what's in here? Bikes. Oh, more wood. Listen, nobody can say I'm not going to survive if it's a cold winter, can they? Another good reason for not throwing anything away. Here on the trolley is the world famous, that's right, pallet boat. I mean, it doesn't run on this wire. I just store the wire. I just don't like throwing the wire away, so it's all bone dry there. The world famous pallet boat as seen on our show. Right, all the wood is gone. Drain rods, they're coming definitely back. And look at this, boys, a lovely lot of lead for me to make for fishing weights. But what sort of person will put heavy lead dense weights in a plastic bag? One of these has to go. I just have to be naughty. That's a full one. I've got to get rid of them, but the thing is, they don't take them when they're full, do they? They're pressurised. I don't think they take them. I think you have to empty them. I wonder. What do you think about that one? Is that worth a go if I read the instructions? These ones are foam ones, I'm guessing. It's got the funnel on them. Why would you want 6 or 7 of those, Graeme? Am I a pyromaniac secretly? Oh no, pyromaniacs start there, they don't put them out, do they? Crikey, I'm going to have a dump one for sure. A man cave being destroyed. What about a broken mower? Complete with cobwebs. It shows how long it's been used, but you might want, look, you might want a filler cap. I might want a pull cord. How can I throw? I might want a wheel that fits my other mower. I've got 2 mowers out here, and this is the 3rd one. There is nothing like putting a bag of plaster in a damp area so it's totally ruined. So now I could have got rid of it to start with. Now it's setting hard, so I can never use it, and I still got to get rid of it. Now then, I've got this one, and I'm going to try it on this thing in it. I suppose it needs a shake up, I don't know. What we got to do, you squeeze this. We can't squeeze this because you've got this, well, like this is like a hand grenade. Pull pin, point at flames. Oh my God, holy schmoly. Smoke's coming my way, run for it. That's something else. Ah, boys, I can't throw these away, they're too much fun. What about putting the pin back in? Yes, sir. That's a proper powered one. Look, I'll tell you what, let's put those stinging nettles out a treat. That is powerful. I've never let one of these go before, if you'll pardon the French. They cannot be thrown away, sorry people. You never know when you're going to want something. Now I put that down as being a, that's a powder one, I'm guessing, for electrical fires. Well, would have been, oh Jesus Christ, just blew my foot off. What's this one? Holy smoly. Christ, that sends you deaf. Oh, they are too much fun. Whew, mama. He blew my camera off. And that one's pin's missing. How sensible, Graeme, not to notice that. I almost put a nail or something through that one. What I've done here is to make some pallets out of, oh no, pallets. I've made pallets out of pallets, and the long, huge stripped down pallet wood I store at the back. So it's all flat, it's off the ground. This, if anything, will rot if water does get in there. And I've done the same, you can see. Wow, is this clear? I've saved the gas bottles. I can't bring myself to throw those away at about 20 bucks a piece. And I'm going to do the same there with some board. Might have to alter that. I've got my property fence stakes as spares down here. I'm going to do something with timber because some of this is hardwood and I don't want to waste it. So, all in all, clean, swept out and comparatively spiderless. So there you go, I now have a neat, tidy man cave shed. Wood's all stacked neatly, and of course I've got so much extra space, I can start putting more stuff in there, can't I? We'll see you guys next time. Watch Mike's one as well, the TA Outdoors. Hit the button on both of those channels, TA Fishing and TA Outdoors. We'll see you again. Hopefully this wind goes down, the rain goes, the rivers get back inside the banks, the beach gets back to its normal tranquil setting rather than churn to oblivion, and we might even get a fishing film up. We'll see you guys next time, and all I can hear is dripping.